Guys, wait till you hear this. Back in May 2024, a fan messaged me out of nowhere and sent me some photos. Said his family owned a Hongqi C72. I was like, wait, what? That's one of China's rarest classic cars ever made. Only 202 units in total. So I zoomed in on the pics, and man, the VIN plate shows C72-001-8-19-2885. Dude, that means this baby is a first-generation model. I couldn't believe my eyes. This thing weighs almost 3 tons. That's right, nearly 6,000 pounds. Built with a full steel body back in the day. And the craziest part? From the engine bay to the exterior, it's all there. Nothing major missing. A few rust spots here and there, sure, but for a 65-year-old car? Unreal. So I hit up the owner. We talked a lot back and forth, and finally I snagged it for a decent price. Then threw in another 10,000 yuan for shipping. Worth every penny. The taillights? Still there. The trim? Complete. Paint's faded, but hey, nothing a new coat can't fix. Honestly, this might be one of the best barn finds I've had in years. I own a bunch of vintage cars, but this one's special. It's China's own heritage. We had to haul it back carefully. Nearly 3 tons of iron, so no shortcuts. Hongqi, you're coming home with me. After a long trip and some serious sweat, we finally made it. Man, what a journey. This is officially the oldest car in my collection. Built in the 1950s, 65 years old now. And I couldn't be happier. First thing I did when it got home, tried to start it up. Had to at least see if there's still a heartbeat in there. Pop the hood. Spark plugs are nasty. Carbon buildup like a volcano and rust on top. I thought, oh no, not another dead engine. But hey, worth a shot. Pulled the plugs. Bit of oil here, bit of cleaning there. Let's do this. And guess what? It cranked. The engine actually turned over. That sound. Man, I can't describe it. I just stood there like, did I seriously just bring this beast back to life? Pure joy. But also thick smoke everywhere. Like seriously, we had to shut it down quick. The oil burn? Intense. This baby's drinking oil like morning coffee. I know some of you are probably gonna ask, how much did you pay? Yeah, it was a good deal. And yeah, we got it running pretty easily. But, plot twist, turns out this is an international variant with a unique displacement. And here's the kicker, the engine has serious blow-by. That's why it was blowing so much smoke. I wanted to take this Hongqi to vintage rallies, showcase it with pride, but no way it's passing inspection like this. So, guess what? We're doing a full teardown, engine out, heads off, pistons removed. And man, with the piston rings, massive wear. No wonder it was burning oil like crazy. These rings are from 1959, and the metal surfaces are just caked with decades of sludge. Some of the internal walls are actually still slick, which is good, no deep scarring. But you can tell this engine has lived a life. Still, I'm optimistic. The crankshaft, the oil lines, everything's being deep cleaned. It's messy, it's exhausting. And honestly, I kind of love it. Oh, and don't even get me started on the leather interior. The surface? Cracked. Weathered. Some parts have totally deteriorated. It's like opening a time capsule from another century. But hey, I knew what I was getting into. This isn't just a restoration, it's a rescue mission. Love. Okay, here's where it got tricky. So, why was the engine burning oil like crazy? Well, turns out it had everything to do with the valve stem seals and the paint seam gasket. Yeah, the paint seam. I didn't believe it at first either, but when I pinched the edge, snap, it cracked right off, completely dried out and brittle from age. That little oil gasket had degraded over decades, and now oil was slipping straight into the combustion chamber. That's old cars for you. Every problem leads to 3 more. And when it comes to fixing classics like this, let me tell you something. The hardest part isn't the labor, it's the parts. Especially the weird stuff like this gasket. If you can't find it online or at some vintage shop, well, you're stuck fabricating it yourself. Which, trust me, isn't cheap. So I made the call. Custom order. No way around it. And while I was at it, I figured, what the hell? Let's tear down the entire transmission too. Big mistake? Maybe. Because once I opened it up, man, it was nasty inside. Old oil, sludge, metal dust, you name it. But hey, we're in too deep to turn back now. And guess what I found? Another shocker. The clutch disc, worn down to bare metal. Like, literally just iron left. This thing's from the 1950s, and it's been chewed up to the rivets. I was standing there like, how the hell am I going to replace this? Can't find one? Gotta custom make it, again. But you know what? That's just how this game goes. Vintage car rule number 1. When in doubt, tear it all out. So I kept going, cleaned every nook and cranny, scrubbed the gearbox casing, flushed out the engine block, removed all the sludge. And while I was at it, why not go full restoration? That means bodywork, wiring, welding, and, the big one, painting. Fixing old cars teaches you everything, literally, from electrics to mechanics to fabrication. I swear, sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, bro, how do you know all this stuff? No joke. Now I get why my wife fell in love with me. I can build anything, even if I have to custom fabricate every single part. All right, enough bragging. Here's what 2 weeks of nonstop work gave me. I finally got that valve stem gasket custom made. We installed it and tested one valve chamber. And guys, it sealed perfectly. Felt amazing. That thing cost me over 800 yen, but damn, it was worth every cent. This isn't some cheap patch job. It's precision work. Then came the piston rings. Had to order custom size ones for the original pistons. Once those arrived, it was game on. We installed everything. All valves, rings, seals, every last piece. And it was tight. No leaks, no wobble, no half fits. Just solid. Let me tell you something. When it comes to restoring classics, there are 4 enemies. Time, money, energy, and parts. And guess which one always gets you? That's right, parts. You can put in 100 hours of labor, but if you're missing one gasket, the whole car is a paperweight. That's why I always plan pre-restore scouting. If I can't find at least 80% of the parts, I don't touch the car. Otherwise, it just sits and rusts. But not this one. No way. I went all in. Oh, and for the clutch, another miracle. I tracked down 2 matching clutch discs for just 380 yuan each. That's wild. Same size, same pattern. And I only needed one. But hey, backups never hurt. Sometimes things just click. So now with all engine parts sourced and installed, the hard part's over. What's next? Time to fire her up. Again. But this time we go all the way. Let's heat this baby up and bring the legend back to life. 3 fire emojis. Okay, wait, we're getting real close now. So I fired her up again, and guess what? She started like a dream. No hesitation, no weird noises, just turned the steel wire crank a bit, primed the fuel, and boom, she roared back to life. I was like, okay, we really did this. We fixed the damn engine. Now on to the next battlefield, the body. The shell of the car was a total mess. Paint just peeling off in sheets, rust everywhere. No way I was gonna leave it like that. Not after all the engine work. So I made a call, full respray. Yup, we're stripping it down to bare metal, sanding every inch, removing rust, polishing it out. No half jobs here. After almost 2 weeks of grinding, sanding, and sweating, we got it done. And man, when I saw that final paint job under the sunlight, bam, glossy, deep, stunning. I stood there and just nodded to myself. Yeah, that's the look. Now for the final stage, reassembly. Interior panels, trim pieces, engine covers, everything back in place. By day, I was working like a machine, and by night, I was hunting down parts online, calling old suppliers, negotiating for bolts like they were diamonds, and somehow, I didn't feel tired, not one bit. Something about working on old cars, you just lose track of time. Every day I'd wake up excited, knowing I get to bring a piece of history back to life. The best part? All of you. Y'all kept following, cheering, dropping comments. That kept me going more than you know. So yeah, we kept the speed up, slapped on the headlights, wired the tail lamps, adjusted the turn signals, cleaned up the brake lights. Boom, everything working. And now, it's done. After 2 whole months, we officially brought this 1950s Chinese Hongqi back from the dead. This was her when I first got her. Paint cracked, interior trashed, mud everywhere. A total wreck. But I saw something in her, and I told myself, this one deserves to shine again. We pulled the engine, rebuilt it from scratch, struggled with parts, chased down old seals and gaskets, welded, sanded, painted, polished, and in the end, she came back. This car once drove in national parades, represented the country's pride, and now, 65 years later, she's alive again, right in time for National Day. It's wild to think about. From a rusty shell in someone's garage to a street-ready classic. And y'all, the support, the love, unreal. So many of you messaged me, cheered me on, asked for updates, and to those of you who watched all the way to the end of this 20-minute journey, thank you, seriously. You made this so worth it. Now let's hit the road. Let her stretch those old legs and feel the wind again. Cue epic music. Let's go.